everyone. So we'll be starting now. Welcome to our second session and actually our first design advocate series. Um, just a brief on what India Design Academy is once again. We're a design education platform enabling and guiding all types of design enthusiasts, students, aspiring designers, non-designers, and even design leaders to craft that design journey. So IDEA is founded by designers just like yourself who are keen on providing the access of design education to each individual through mentorship and democratized learning. We are here to create a design-centric community, and anyone who is passionate can be a part of it. So we have initiated these Design Advocate Talk series to you as an open platform for experienced industry folks and new designers to come on board and share their inspirations and their knowledge as designers or aspiring designers. So today's session we'll be looking at designing products for happiness. Now, what does this really mean? So we all seek happiness from the activities we're engaged with. We all seek happiness from the life we lead. With time, we are realizing that happiness is key in many moments of our lives, even in what we use, the products and the services. And we're slowly moving away from a task-focused delivery to look at emotions and experience as part of this journey. So how does happiness fit into these experience pyramids? And is there a framework for positive design? So let's hear more about this from our speaker for today, Alipta Ballav. So welcome, Alipta. Alipta is a fun-loving and jolly person. He is a problem solver, someone who enjoys to give and receive genuine feedback and who also believes in continuous learning. He is from Bangalore and he is a design graduate from one of the oldest design schools in Kolkata. He has been in the design industry for almost 2 decades and has been part of multiple digital transforming journeys for high-profile clients. At present, he is building and managing the user-centered design team at Cerner Corporation in Bangalore. So let's welcome Alipta. Alipta, over to you.
Hey. Yep. Okay. Great. Thank you. Welcome all of you. I'm actually excited to be a part of this. This really nice initiative forming up this design communities across the globe. So there's been a lot of happening all around after COVID started, and this is great. So thanks for joining this, and that was a nice welcome message from Radhika. I'm excited. Great, guys. So let's get started then. How is life in COVID-19? So probably, for me, I guess COVID-19 probably has been disruptive for all of us. Your lifestyle has changed. You're walking late. You're sleeping late. And the complete routine might have changed, right? You're maintaining a social distancing, and probably for me, I'm so this is my routine these days. So I normally wake up in the morning. I start to look into my emails for the top priority task, and then I do a lot of work. I eat, I sleep, and then I enjoy a lot of movies. So when it comes to watching movies, I'm not a great fan of Hollywood movies. Even in fact, yesterday I was watching Shakuntala Devi in Prime Video, I guess. Yeah. But again, some Hollywood movies I really love. Uh, Life of Pi, then Castaway, then Forrest Gump, and Gladiator. So these are all my favorites. And one of the other favorites also is this movie, the Pursuit of Happiness. So I remember Will Smith. He played the role of Chris Gardner, who was a homeless salesman, and he applied for a job at the American brokerage firm as a broker. And then he finally got the job, and this was the last part of the movie when he said, "This part of my life, this little part is called happiness," right? So after all, we all wish to live a very good life, right? And the definition may vary from person to person. But again, the most important thing or the most important criteria is all about being happy, and happy is kind of a very necessary condition, right, for all of us. So this is me. My name is Alipta Ballav. I am a senior design manager at Cerner, and I have, as Radhika told you, that I have almost 2 decades of experience. I started my career way back in '98, and these are some of the brands I worked with. I worked with Harman, I've worked with Wipro, and I've also worked with Logica CMG, which is now taken over by CGI. So that's about me, and so today the topic is about designing products for happiness. So how can you make experience happier? So Bhutan is known as the kingdom of happiness. You know why? Because Bhutan's fourth king, uh, fourth king of Bhutan, Mr. Jigme, so he said the gross national happiness is more important for him than the gross domestic product, because he felt the gross national happiness can become the guiding philosophy to make people happier, and it can also be part of their development process. But you'll be a little sad to know that India actually ranks 144th in the Gross National Happiness Index, which was conducted in 2020. That's quite sad. So, good design is long lasting, as said by Dieter Rams, right? Now, so with design being perhaps one of the most intimate way to reach to different people, to reach to the globe, I think it's time to explore the possibilities of how we can offer products and services that can give you a long lasting happiness. So let's look into that. Okay, so a few of my experiences from the past. So do you remember your first TV purchase? I actually remember mine. So this is the TV which my dad purchased way back in 1986 when I was 11 years old. So the day before, India is actually playing Pakistan in Australia Cup. So that is the final match, and just the day before that, he actually purchased this TV. So this is a 14-inch black and white television, and you have these switches, right, where you can see these two knobs, so you can really change the channels, and these three switches where through which you can switch on and switch off the TV. The thing is, India lost that match because of our great bowler Chetan Sharma, who actually delivered a full toss to Javed Miandar in the last ball. So Pakistan are supposed to score 4 runs in the last ball, and Javed Miandar actually hit a six. India lost the match, but then I was happy that I could watch the match live, and that was a very enjoying moment for me. Okay, so remember 90s? Everything I do it for you. This this song, Brian Adams. Remember this? Okay, I used to listen to this in my school. Remember your first love letter, the first rose, the first bunch of chocolates which comes to you, probably from a maybe unknown person, but yes, it was intended for you, right? Oh, that was really exciting. I felt this in my school life, guys. And then this hopscotch. My friends used to play this a lot, and I used to tease them. Why are you playing this? Yeah, I mean, why can't you play cricket with us? I mean, no offense to girls who are in the presentation today. So these are used to be nice experiences, right? And then playing with pebbles. So I used to basically throw these pebbles to different to people just for fun, and then playing with marbles. So I guess people probably might be knowing this game. So this is basically a circle where you keep all your marbles, and then you have to hit the marble, and then whichever goes out of the circle, that's yours. So I actually collected a lot of them when I was a kid. So very nice experience, all of this, and very interesting, very engaging. And then yes, this is one. I used to watch. I mean, I used to fly kites. I remember Independence Day used to be a fun for us because this is exactly used to do in Independence Day when I used to be in my native. And I used to get kites of different varieties, and then the cotton threads, which you call manja. So that is probably prohibited now, because we recently there's a case in Delhi, I guess, when one guy actually died. A kid basically died because of this. So So these are the kites I normally used to buy, and this is how you normally keep those manjas, that cotton thread in this thing. So those used to be all fun loving and enjoyable moments from my past, and I really enjoy those moments still. And this is one thing I still like. So whenever I go to native, I try to fly kites at least for a day. Okay, so these are all used to be happy moments, right? Isn't it? But then happiness is momentary, isn't it? So happiness fades away very quickly. So what do you want to choose? Do you want to choose a happy life, a happy moment, or what is it? What exactly you need? So do you think can something give you a long lasting happiness? It's a $1 million question. So let's find it out. So I will probably take you through some of the core instinct of happiness now. Now, do you know who is this person? This is Walt Disney. So Walt Disney's philosophy was the key to happiness was all about feeling safe, and that's why all the Disney parks across the world were designed to make you feel safe, right? LIC, you feel secure when you buy life insurance, isn't it? And then the tagline of LIC says that "Zindagi ke saath bhi, zindagi ke baad bhi," meaning when you're alive, LIC is with you. When you're not alive, LIC is still with you, right? And then you feel affiliated. You probably feel affiliated with different you know global institutions. Maybe you're affiliated to Stanford University or Harvard University. You feel like, okay, you feel happy about it if you're affiliated to this institution, to this global institutions, right? So all these are like happy. These are the core instincts of happiness. Now let's look at what is HCI and UX. So HCI is considered as a foundation for UX with deep roots in cognitive psychology, behavioral economics, and then computer science and multiple other fields, right? So researchers actually try to find out what are the different ways you as a user interact with the computer. So that's the study is all about. But then what is UX? I mean, you all know about it, right? So I'm not going to redefine what is UX. UX is all about what is the experience you have, right? What kind of experience you get after you interact with products and services. That's very common. Now, so in the past decade, UX emerged rapidly as a new paradigm in the field of UX. Meaning, so let's say, what is a goal you have when you're using a computer? To find some information, right? Maybe you input something and the computer gives an output, isn't it? So the first PC came in 1980, and post that, UX designers started to observe how actually people interact with computers, right? And then how efficiently, effectively, and satisfyingly users actually interact with the systems. Now, what is efficiency here? So efficiency is all about the task time. It is all like time bound. So effectiveness. How do you measure effectiveness now? It is about the success rate, the completion rate, the number of errors you commit, and then what is satisfaction? Satisfaction is about how you are actually uh, are you satisfied with this interaction? So you kind of measure that. Now, to do all of that, we created different patterns, frameworks. We talked a lot of user principles. Then, so namely, we have Jacob Nielsen's, we have Dieter Rams, we have Snyderman, and they have crafted design systems like design systems and standards. So which you kind of follow when you create your designs, right? Now the thing is, never trust a sign interface. They have a multitude of flaws. Now let me explain this what I mean by this. So let's say when you're trying to purchase gold, right? You kind of get get to see so you're kind of when you see a very shiny gold ring or a very shiny object, you kind of get attracted to. You feel okay, this is the best I can have. This is the best I can get, but you don't know how much pure it is, right? And the same goes probably with Apple. So you probably pick up the most shiny apples from the store because you feel this is a great product. or this is a great fruit to have, but that's actually not the case, right? So they have a lot of wax on the apple, so to just to make it shiny, they put a lot of wax on it. Now the same thing really happens with digital products. So when your interface looks very shiny in nature, it means that it may not be always very usable in nature. And the thing is, a good UI can actually hide product flaws. So what I'm trying to say is traditional ACI aimed at minimizing the flaws of a product by solving the most immediate need, right? And then ensuring that it is not in a very bad state, right? So I'll give you a quick example. So let's say we realize that navigation is eating up a lot of real estate, right? And then what did you do? We have make the navigation hidden by creating hamburger menus. Now the checkout process is complex in nature. So to make it simplify, we query remove the registration process. So data tables are kind of boring. Let's move to cards. And then from flat design, we move to skeuomorphism, and from skeuomorphism, we're kind of like moving to neomorphism now. So all these are basically trying to solve our immediate needs, trying to make our products very shiny in nature, right? Now, apparently, we're able to solve a lot of contextual problems. That's there, but let's say if you talk about contextual problem, the first thing comes to mind is maps. Maps really solve you a lot of directional problems for you, right? And then when you need to order food or need to order groceries, we have apps everywhere, right, across. So all these apps basically can solve a lot of contextual problems, but then does all this leads to a very fulfilling experiences? Not really. Let's find out what I intend to tell you. So what I'm saying is, let's move from the functional experience to a happy experience. So as you know, emotions are the soul of product, right? And then a product has a lasting value, and you can really get engaged with the product if it makes you feel in a particular way. Imagine a gift given by your best friend. It could be the smallest of the smallest thing, maybe a keychain, right? And that product has a lot of value to you because it has a lot of emotions attached to it. So if you look at the experience pyramid, so this experience pyramid where you talk about the most basic foundation of any experience is the functional experience, and then we move up to the ladder by having reliable and usable experiences, and at the top we have pleasurable experience, right? Now I can put take an example here. So this example I normally give. So let's say you are you are actually handling with a switch, light switch, right? Now light switch is something which works without bugs, and it works consistently because you kind of switch off the light. You get that functional experience, and you kind of rely on that, right? Because it works. It so whenever you switch on the light glows. Switches off, the light is off, right? And it is easy to use. But light switch is not very pleasurable to use, right? So probably this product, particular light switch, cannot move to the next level of the pyramid. But our intention as designers is to move to the next level. So how can you move our products from usability to pleasurable, and from pleasurable to happy? So that's the thing I'm just trying to tell you. So what I'm trying to say is that we are slowly moving away from task-oriented approach to look at emotions and affect as a core quality of a product. Right? So can all products make you happy? Not really, isn't it? Now these are some of the product attributes. So imagine this scissor. Now what do you do with a scissor? You kind of cut your hair, you kind of cut papers, you kind of cut different objects with scissor, right? So I normally cut green chilies when I put those green chilies while I'm preparing my Maggie. Or really, always I sometimes use it to cut chickens. So I use it for different purpose. But the thing is, what I'm trying to tell you is it it fulfills an immediate need and something where you have a very tangible goal in mind, and it fulfills that. But that does not give you that emotional experience. So there's nothing engaging in it. So when you're cutting chilies, when you're cutting chicken or cutting paper, that is not an emotional or engaging experience at all, right? So similarly, if you have a flower vase in your house, that again is an intangible need. You may not be needing that, but in order to make your home look different, so you kind of buy this product, and it gives you a lot of fun and excitement, and you have a very high emotional response. And whenever you place this product at your house, it is also give you that emotional experience, and plus it is also aesthetically pleasing, right? So you call this at hedonic attributes of a product. There's one more thing called eudaimonic attributes, something that has a meaningful goal. Probably you're purchasing a wedding ring for your marriage, and that has a meaningful goal for your life because it's a life changing situation for you. You're getting married and you're buying a wedding ring for your better half, right? So these kind of experiences give you enjoyment, pleasure, and it has also a meaningful goal in life. So that what I'm trying to say, that contributes to a meaningful goal. So these are some of the product attributes: pragmatic attributes, hedonic attributes, and eudaimonic attributes, right? Now, which product have all of the three attributes? Are there any products really? Maybe. So if you look at this Venn diagram, so I have created pragmatic attributes where you have tangible goals, hedonic attributes where you have high emotional responses, and eudaimonic attributes where you have long-term effects which contributes to your meaningful goal. Now look at this product, a camera. Camera is a product where you can definitely you can take digital photos through cameras, and it can also suit your identity. So if you're a very sophisticated person in nature, maybe probably buy a very high-end digital camera, right? And then it suits your personality, right? And it is also minimalistic in terms of design. And if you and through your camera you can probably document some important social event, maybe a marriage, maybe some event at your house, maybe a housewarming ceremony or different ceremonies. So it gives a very tangible, meaningful objective, right? So camera is one product. The next product I can probably think of is your mobile phone. Probably your mobile phone can also do the same thing, right? And through mobile phone you can really take photos, you can share photos, and also the design is very minimal, right? And so we have to go to this sweet spot where all three intersects, and then really through that you can make your products happier. So okay, we're going to talk about the PERMA model now. So what is PERMA model? PERMA model basically is something which was created by Martin Seligman, one of the founders of positive psychology. She developed five core elements of psychological well-being and happiness. So these are the five attributes to that. So we are talking about positive emotion, we are talking about engagement, we are talking about relationships, we're talking about meaning, and you're talking about accomplishment. So if you put up all this together, it gives you something called PERMA model. Now let's look at one of this. So as Dieter Rams, again, I love this quotes which Dieter Rams says, user react very positively when things are clear and understandable. That's exactly, he's very true in that. So whenever you feel any product gives you that add value, or it is very clear to understand, you kind of get attached to that. You kind of use it on a daily basis. You kind of keep coming back and use that product again and again. So what is positive emotion? Positive emotion is adding your positive emotions in your product. Now look at these pictures. So positive emotion is not about it's not about only giving the smile or the laughter or the enjoyment. It's also about how can you remain optimistic about your product, right? Now, if you look at this weighing machine, that maybe you're doing a lot of exercise over the past few months to reduce your weight. The moment you check your weight the next time, you feel that really your weight has got reduced, and that gives a very optimistic look towards your life. So you're feeling that okay, my I'm working hard to reduce my weight, and actually it's working out for me. So that gives a very optimistic, view about your life. Now let's look at this another picture. The child actually building a Lego, right? Now, uh, when he actually completes that, he feels very very happy about it. Similarly, there are different other things in life. Like let's say somebody enjoys cycling, somebody enjoys swimming, somebody enjoys running a marathon, right? So all these actually gives you that positive attitude towards your life. Now, but again, the thing is, do you enjoy your daily task in life? No, you don't. Like brushing teeth, taking bath, and then washing clothes. We certainly don't, right? But again, some people love cooking, right? So for them, cooking is kind of a thing that gives them that positivity in life, and they keep on trying new dishes every day. And this they kind of serve this to your family, to your friends, and it's not that they want to showcase that look how much I know about cooking. It's not about that, because they love doing it. And while I say that, I remember my grandmother. She kind of I normally used to share almost the entire day in kitchen, right? Because she continuously used to cook throughout the day, almost throughout the day. Now, so that's also giving happiness. So the thing is, what I'm trying to say is happiness comes from enjoying that moment, and or from a sense of personal meaning. And so designer, as a designer, what you need to do. So designer should formulate a vision of how design will evoke positive affect, right? And how can it stimulate and enable people in pursuing that. So that personal goal, what you have in life, right? And so it can also make you a good moral person, a good person in life. It's not just about just using a product. It can make you a good person, a better person in life. So that's about adding positivity to your product. The second thing is about engagement. So engagement is something where when you're doing an activity or a task, you're kind of in a flow, right? Now, let's say you're playing an instrument, you're probably reading a book, you're probably jogging in the park, or you're painting. So different activities, or you're even watching a movie. So when you actually watch a movie, you kind of get that immersive experience, right? Now that's why it is said that movie experiences in theater is completely different than movie experiences at home. And why is that? Because when you're watching a movie at home, you probably have a lot of distractions, right? And then distraction like a phone call, maybe there's a power outage, or somebody knocking at the door, or your big basket delivery has come. Then you have to attend the big basket delivery first. So you have to pause the movie for some time, and then so there could be multiple other distractions, right? But then when you go to a theater, you kind of get that immersive experience in nature, and then you are kind of having that surround system, and then you enjoy. You are kind of immersed in that movie, right? So what I'm trying to say is, so you have to build that flow. So when you're in a task, you have to give that immersiveness into your experience. So that is a very important thing. The third thing what I'm going to discuss today is about relationship. This is the most important part basically. So again, I know we are, as rightly said here, we are social animals, and we need to connect to people to create bonds, right? And our relationships actually differ from person to person. Now, and it also varies from product to product, right? As I said. So, have you ever thought about this? Like when you start to build relationship with products, when it solves a very personal or contextual problem, right? Let's say let's say bank, you probably build a relationship with your bank you're dealing with, right? So I remember my mom, her account number is 65. She is one of the oldest customer in that particular bank, and she has never changed her bank in her entire life. Maybe because of different reasons, because she might have actually experienced that that feel good factor, or the service what the bank provides, or the customer service, as I said. And then she likes the products, and then she has never thought of going to a different bank at all, right? So that kind of relationships he has with banks. Now, similarly, this is also one thing I can tell you, that I used to had a haircut in a local barber shop in my native. Now today I'm not in my native. I moved to Bangalore, but whenever I go to my native, I exactly go to the same barber shop to get a haircut. But why? And he's not doing very different things, but he's just cutting my hair. But then I have built a relationship with that person, right? So he normally asks me, how is life in Bangalore? How are your parents? How is the job? How are things? So he kind of became a friend of mine. I know he's elder than me, but we have that relationship today. So this is one thing I really like. So when I go to native, I normally take haircut from the same barber, which I used to take many years back. So now he is not he's so I used to take haircut from his father. His father expired, but his son is now running that shop. So that's a nice experience, right? So probably as a designer, what you need to do. So we keep on hopping to different products, right? Let's say we keep on hopping to different same kind of product. Let's say Amazon versus Flipkart. So they does the same thing, but then are you able to build a positive relationship with that? Maybe we can. There could be different factors, which probably people might like Amazon over Flipkart, or somebody might Flipkart over Amazon, right? But then similarly, I have probably built a relationship with LinkedIn now these days, and this was happened very recently after COVID. So I kind of stay online in LinkedIn for many hours now, because I keep on checking different posts, different design. Communities are forming up, and then there are a lot of learnings happenings, right, across my day. Somebody point to a different point to a presentation, or somebody point to an article, so I really enjoy reading it, right? So I have kind of built a relationship with LinkedIn rather than Facebook. But then again, my wife has a relationship with Facebook. I see her mostly in online Facebook throughout the day. So that's how we probably kind of build relationships, right? The next thing is about meaning. So activities which has a purpose in life. So I can quote an example here. Design thinker Chris Harris, basically, he offers a very thoughtful insight. He says that we have to create that meaningful interactions. Now he started a movement called Time Well Spent, where he empathized like what does the future of technology looks like when you're designing with the deepest human values. So so you kind of spend a lot of time thinking how do you want to spend your time, right? So and then when you do that, you probably think, okay, I can probably spend my time with mobile, right? And then but every time you look to the mobile, or every time you interact with your mobile phone, you always tend to get something new out of it, right? And then when you're away from your phone for some time, you feel that FOMO, the fear of missing out. Maybe you feel, okay, something is some I posted a photograph in Facebook, and somebody might be liking it, or how many likes I have got, or how many people have actually read my article, or different things. So you kind of have that fear of missing out thing, right? So what you're saying is, how can technology create products where you can build positive contributions uh, towards your life? So, can your phone help you do those positive activities, or can it solve a meaningful purpose for you? So, I give an small example. I way back, I think many years back, I was a part of a project called Smart Grid, where we're defining a mobile application. Let's say you probably have forgot to switch off the geyser at your house, and you're in a hurry, and you just locked your door, and you left for the office, right? But then you get an beep in your mobile saying that your geyser is still on. But then with a tap of one of the office of a click, or with a tap, you can really switch off the geyser. So that kind of product we actually created with this smart grid technology. So basically what you're doing, you're trying to uh, save power, save energy, right? So that's the intent. So that has a meaning, that has a purpose in your life. So I think every designer should build products which has actually got some meaning, activity that has a purpose. The last thing is about accomplishment. So what does accomplishment looks to you? How does it look like? So it could be about getting a degree, it could be about cracking your CAD exams, right? Or receiving an award or an honor from an institution, or maybe you just passed out from the college. So that's also an accomplishment in your life, right? So it says an achievement that is pursued. Now, when do you feel accomplished? When you're actually using a digital product? Do you actually feel that? I probably don't feel much about it. And but then one product which can actually make you feel accomplished is about Fitbit. So Fitbit helps you live a very healthy and balanced life, right? By tracking your daily activities like exercise, how much exercise you're doing, how much you're sleeping, how much you're gaining weight, or how much you're losing weight. So you kind of lead a very happy life or a healthy life, and that is, I think, is an accomplishment by itself. So what I'm trying to say is, as a designer, I think our intention should be to build products which can make you feel accomplished in nature, right? So that goes about the PERMA model. So what you are saying, we are talking about, so as PERMA model basically directs us towards a positive design approach. But then, what kind of happiness do people want? Is it happiness experienced by moment to moment, or is it something when you look back to your some memory and some memorable event that happened in your life, which can make you feel happy? So it is all about being happy in your life versus being happy about life. This is like was said by Nobel Prize winner David Kahneman. So he described this distinction between being happy in your life versus being happy about your life. So I would say, I think as a user experience designer, you should take a moment to ask your users what kind of happiness they are seeking for. So that's very important. So I am again kind of coming back to this experience pyramid. So I believe as a designer, we are kind of somewhere here. We are delivering a lot of usable products. We are making functional experiences. We are making reliable experiences. We are making usable experiences. But then our intention also is to move up the pyramid and reach to that level where you can build happiness, right? Now, you can really build happiness, or you can build that positive experience through brain chemistry. And the following are some of the good brain chemicals which can really you can integrate in your product to make the experience happier. Now, one is dopamine, right? Dopamine is released when you're having very pleasurable interactions. It is immediate, but it lasts for a short time again. The second can be oxytocin. So oxytocin is namely called as love drug, where you kind of having you feel a trust with your friendship or the connection which you have built over your with your family or your friends. And sometimes when you give a tight hug with your friends or someone, uh, you are actually dealing with oxytocin, so it gives you that positive emotion. The third is serotonin. So you're feeling pride. It's like walking towards a goal in life. You're finding a lasting, so kind of a lasting action, right? You're basically walking towards a goal. So that's about serotonin. And then endorphins. So basically, this is something that could mask your pain, right? It can release a lot of stress. So all this, as a designer, I would say you can really use all this brain chemistry to make our products happier. Okay, guys. So I guess we discussed a lot about today how to make our products happy, and I'm examining the last part of my presentation now. So I'd say this one attribute can definitely give you a lifelong happiness by treating someone with some respect, right? You don't need to do anything, but if you respect someone, you can really. It's not about interacting with products, you're not interacting with services, but as a human being, I think if you respect elders, if you respect others, that itself can give you a lifelong happiness. And that's all for today. I guess sometimes a tight hug also can give you happiness.